Mabuhay, this is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. My channel is about marriage to a woman from the Philippines, as you can probably tell from my shirt. And I want to ask you to leave a comment on this video and subscribe to Love Beyond the Sea. And I'm going to call this one Why Base Marriage on Scripture, based on this comment here on TikTok. I think basing your marriage on Scripture is ridiculous. If you're not happy, get out. Living in misery, unhappiness, you're already dead. Everything around you will suffer. Excuse me. So I want to respond to this, and I only have a little bit of time to do that, but there's a lot there that you can't deny is real, except the first part there, in my opinion. And of course, when we aren't happy, which is going to happen a lot, even in the best of them, best marriages, I don't think it's always best to just get out. And sometimes misery and unhappiness is part of the marriage experience of learning to grow together through bad times. And I am experiencing that right now. So what I am saying is something I am trying to live out. And I agree, there are times when things are hard, you're confused, you're unhappy, you're miserable, you're depressed, you're anxious, and maybe you feel like you're dead and you want to get out, but it doesn't mean that things are going to be better on the other side. Now, why base it on Scripture? Well, because I believe that the Bible teaches that when two people are married, that God puts them together, and when He does that, He has the right to say, what God has joined together, let not man put asunder or separate. And He does give grounds, as we probably talked about in the video I'm replying to here from when the Philippines is considering having absolute divorce. They listed some grounds, and there's a whole bunch of them, but biblically it comes down to mainly two. A Christian can divorce for adultery in the spouse, or if he is married to an unbeliever, just doesn't want to be married to him anymore, and they divorce them. They don't have to fight that. They're still free to get married if they choose to. And so that's pretty narrow there, and by God's design, because somewhere else in the end of the Old Testament it says that God hates divorce. So if He hates it, we want to do everything we can to stay together. We can try to find help, solace, comfort, and guidance from others that are wiser, that can help us, and they're not going to tell us, I know, to leave and escape. They're going to try to comfort you in any way possible to hang in there and live up to the marriage vows that you made before God, because God puts the people together in a unique way that single people who are having sex outside of marriage are not put together, and the married people are. And anytime there is a divorce, it's like it's brutal. It's just like ripping your arm off or something. And so you don't know if things can't get better if you just get out. And a lot of things might suffer around you. I'm not specifically addressing this to the gentleman here in this video. I'm just talking in general because I thought there was a lot of things to talk about here in this comment. I mean, excuse me, it would take me too much time to do that, but that's what I wanted to touch on. Why base it on Scripture? Well, like I do, because, like I said, God puts two people together and He wants them to stay together. You can get help from other people. You can get counsel. As a Christian, I need to get biblical counsel, and that's going to be to hang in there as long as possible. And doesn't mean you're a glutton for punishment, but one of the definitions of love is in 1 Corinthians 13. It talks about, at the start, love suffers long. And then it ends, love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. So if it's patient and it's bearing and it's enduring all things, then, a split up for good is not going to be easy to do, because you have to endure all things. So you better get some help if you're in a situation and where things aren't working out, and try to work it out. She needs somebody to talk to, the wife. Husband needs some help so they cannot make any rash decisions, and hang in there, and maybe learn from some other people who have been through that situation. You want to be real careful not to just throw away a marriage. It's a very wonderful thing, and you have to go through some valleys sometimes, and you show your commitment that way. We marry for better or worse, and in sickness and health. And that covers a lot of conditions, a lot of situations. So I know there will be some disagreement with what I've said, but since I am dealing with this in my own situation, I want to make sure that a year or two from now, or 3, if we're still not together, that we can still be together. The more time that elapses, the more time you have to try to maybe figure out what's going on. If the other person has something against you. But again, I'm here to make this video about what I should do, what I think the Bible tells people to do when things are not going their way, even if, let's say, your wife has separated. Then that doesn't mean that it's over. And people have told me, well, sometimes Filipinas women, they just need to get away and think about things or reflect on things. And that's probably the most painful time for the guy, because when she's not there and you feel like you can't get anywhere. But for sure, in these situations, and this video isn't about dealing with those situations, you need to be as calm as you can, and you can state your needs and your hurts, but don't do it in a threatening way, because the relationship has already been threatened. So why base marriage on Scripture? That's my answer. If you care, anyone, not just this person there, but if anyone cares, leave a comment. Please go ahead and do that here on Love Beyond the Sea.